Okay, we are ready to look at the assignment in Word over citations, and this is the Mars Exploration Word citation, and the document and the instructions for this are both located in Blackboard. In the text, starting on page 322 is where it covers creating citations, so if you need to go back there for some additional help, that's where you're going to find it in the textbook. Here in Blackboard, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to download the instructions for the Mars exploration. And so this is a PDF document separate from your textbook here. And I'm going to bring this over to this side of my screen. And then I'm going to bring up the Mars rover document in Word. This is the document that we are going to be modifying. So we're going to enable editing here. So we have our nice little paper right here. So we are going to modify our document's normal style by changing its font to Times New Roman. So we're going to come up here into the design, and we are going to go over here to fonts. Actually, this isn't where I went to go. I'm going to go to the Home tab. Sorry about that. And over here, we're going to do the styles because we're going to change our normal style. So we cannot modify our styles. If I click here on my dialog box launcher, here are all of my styles. Here's my normal style. I'm going to click this little arrow right here, and I'm going to modify my normal style for this document. And what I want to do is I want to change its font to Times New Roman. So over here's my formatting, here's my font. I'm going to change this to Times New Roman. They're alphabetical. So I can come down here to Times New Roman. And I want to change the font size to 12. Now I want to change the line spacing to double. So I'm going to come down here to Format and Paragraph. So right here is my line spacing. I'm going to change that to double. And I'm going to change this. I don't want any spacing before, and I want no spacing after. So I'm going to change that both to 0. And I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to say OK again. So now I've changed the normal style for this document. So I can close this little navigation pane. I'm going to select all the text in my document, and I'm going to come up here and apply the normal style. And you can see it's changed all to Times New Roman, and it's also now double spaced. Put my insertion point back up there in front of the J in Jordan. Now I need to insert a header. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to go to the Insert tab, and I'm going to go to Header, and I want a blank header. So I'm just going to come down. Here is my blank header. I'm going to right align my blank header, and I am going to type in my last name. I'm going to press the space bar, and then I'm going to insert a plain number, page number, from the current position gallery. So I'm going to come back up here to the header, click on Design, go to page number, I want current position, and I want the plain number. And then I can close my header and footer. I'm going to come here to this student name, and I'm going to change it. I want you to change the student name to your own first and last name. So I'm going to put my own first and last name here. You need to change the professor's name to whatever your current instructor's name is. So I'm my own instructor here. And I'm going to come down here. I've got my name here. I'm just going to leave this name alone. I'm going to leave the date alone. And here, my comparing 3 Mars rovers, I'm going to come down here to this sentence, and now I'm going to center align it. And I want to change the case to capitalize each word. So over here, I've got my change case icon on my font tab, and I want to capitalize each word. So it's going to change that to capitalize each word. Now I need to set up some first line indents. So I'm going to select the body paragraph starting with Mars is not easy. I'm going to go through to the very last one, NASA has engaged. So right here. And I am going to create a first line indent. So you need to think back to when we modified paragraphs. I'm going to come up here to the paragraph grouping. I'm going to click on this little dialog box launcher right there, and I'm going to change this special indentation to first line, and then I'm going to say OK. So now I've got my first line indent. Going to now create some new text. I'm going to remove my insertion point to the end of the sentence of recent missions, 1 soft landed. So right here, of recent missions, 1 soft landed. So I'm going to move my insertion point right there. I'm going to press the Enter key, and it's going to keep it first line indent, and I'm going to insert some additional text. Make sure you spell it correctly. And the way this paragraph is typed, it only has 1 space after the period, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this 1 space. I usually put 2 spaces by default, but in this particular paper, it used to be that you would just put 1 space, and they've changed it again. It goes back and forth, so in this particular paper, we only want 1 space after the periods. When you type in your information, you want to make sure you don't bold the text, and then Sojourner, since it's a title, does need to be italicized. So when we come in here, now we're going to create and change our style to MLA. So we're going to come up to the References tab and change the style to MLA. So select that and choose MLA. And now we're ready to add some citations. So we're going to find the phrase using airbed technology in the 3rd body paragraph. So right here, using airbed technology. And we're going to move the insertion point before the period. So after the Y, but before the period. And we're going to insert a citation. So we're going to use the information right here in Figure 1. So we're going to come up here to Insert Citations on the Reference tab, and we want to add a new source, and it is a website. The author of the website is NASA, and the name of the web page is Chronology of Mars Exploration, if I can talk right. And the year accessed was 2015, August, and we do need to put a period since we are abbreviating that. Access the 15th, and the medium is going to be web. So we're going to say OK. So now we have our citation in here, and we want to add page number 1. So I'm going to click here on NASA, open this up. I'm going to edit the citation because I want to change how it looks in the paper. And I'm going to add page number 1 and say OK. We're now ready to add another citation. So we're going to find the phrase survived a complex soft landing in the 4th paragraph. Arrived a complex soft landing, and we're going to put our insertion point between the G and the period, and we are going to again insert a citation. Only this time we want a new source, and we're going to do a journal article. So over here in our instructions, it gives us the author, Gibson, Susan. It gives us the title that we need to put in. Make sure you spell everything right. Go here and fix that. The journal name here is Mars Science Laboratory. Years 2015. We got pages 277 to 295, and this medium is print. We're going to say OK. And we want to come down to this Gibson, and we want to edit the citation to include a page number, and this we want to be page 289. And so we're going to have another citation that we need to add here, number 17, so make sure you add the next citation. And then we're also going to be adding a footnote. So we're going to move our insertion point after the period NASA has engaged. So we're going to find that period. Here's NASA has engaged. We're going to find after the period, and we're going to insert a footnote. So you need to make sure it's between the period and the space, and we're going to insert footnote. And the text for the footnote is right here in our text. And again, make sure you spell everything correctly. Okay, then you're going to modify the footnote text, and to do that you're just going to highlight it and make the changes as outlined in your instructions. You're going to be making a bulleted list. So you're going to take these 3 paragraphs here, starting with Sojourner and ending with Curiosity, and you're going to create a bulleted list. So the Home tab and create bullets, and you're now ready to add a bibliography. So we're going to go to the bottom, going to go to Page Layout, we're going to insert a page break. You're going to come up here to the References, Bibliography, and we're going to insert the bibliography with all of our citations, and you'll have 1 additional citation here from what we had entered. Run a spelling and grammar check and submit your document for grading.